Hi guys, I'm Jack Miller. Today I'm going to be talking about all the things that keep me safe. My passion for motorbikes basically started through my dad. My dad always rode. He wanted to race, but his family, through one way or the other, living on a farm, weren't able to afford it. So he bought my brother a bike for my brother's 5th birthday, and I was 2, nearly 3 years old at the time. And this is one of my probably earliest memories. I was stood at the gate crying on my brother's birthday, saying, "Please take me with you to ride the bike." And I think from then, then on, because pretty much from then on, I was trying to ride every single day that I could. Enough so that my parents said, okay, now we had to move from the city to a farm. And once we did that, I was riding every day. So it started there, and I could be with friends, it could be, it didn't matter, I was alone or what, but as long as I was riding a bike, for one, I wasn't getting into trouble, and for two, I was very, very happy. So I think, it's just something that I was born to do. Having a friendship or having, people around you, especially happy people, people who keep you in a mentally a good state, is definitely one of the most important things you can do in our job, because it's very easy after a bad weekend or something like that. You're able to take a step back. It's even better to have friends that are maybe not inside racing, but people who can take you back, and they don't care whether you finished first or last on the weekend. They are there to be your friend and just to hang out and have a good time. So for me, that's one of the most important things. For me, I'm a very social person, let's say. I enjoy to hang around with friends and to have a good time. So I think it's definitely one of the most important things for me, to also just to release stress, go and have a laugh and just enjoy laughter and friendship. Also, having a great relationship, not only on a crew chief sort of level, but also with your mechanics, everything like that. I think the biggest thing is to create a bond there, of a bond, friendship bond between your crew, the guys that are working and you're trusting with your complete life. I think that is one of the most important things, so that they are enjoying, because it's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies. There's going to be bad days, and I feel you need that relationship to help you bring you through to the next level, and to forget about the difficult days. So but not only that, also having other friends around the paddock, other riders, is definitely key for me. Like I said before, I enjoy being I'm a friendly person. I enjoy friendship. I like to have a chat, and I feel I need this. It was difficult, starting MotoGP directly from Moto3. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the challenge, but it was a difficult one. But also the way that we did it, coming through onto an open Honda, which wasn't really a competitive bike at all that year. And then, step by step, year by year, getting small improvements on the bike, and also I feel myself improving as a rider as well. So it was difficult, but I embraced the challenge. I enjoyed seeing progression every week. I still enjoy seeing progression every week. I feel it's making me a better person, a better competitor, and a better athlete. So I think that's one of the other things that I really take out of it. I have many scars all over me, probably one of the most in the paddock, but I look at them as a way of learning, that I learned from them. But for sure, having the best protection in the industry is definitely key to what we do, because with the racing schedule, how it is now, and with also how high level everybody is riding, you take a fall, you need to be back up and as close to, if not your 100% every time, because otherwise you can miss, half the season or whatever, and this can really put you back a long way. So the biggest thing is just trying to be 100% fit all the time, trying to not get any injuries, and one of the biggest steps in that is having the best protection you can get, which is Danny's. The way that the leather suits and everything have developed nowadays, it's for one, having the airbag system was a huge step in terms of safety, you don't even think about that you're wearing it anymore. It's become so light and so malleable, let's say, so flexible that you don't even notice it's there until you need to notice it's there and you feel it. So for sure, having that is one of the best things that I can say. And another thing is, just the way that the leather suit fits, that nothing is moving when you're crashing, for example, and stuff like this is definitely have to be one of the key points, I think. It was a big one. I remember more than I would like to, let's say that. No, it was one of these moments where I was very lucky. I was able to jump off the bike, or let's say crash the bike on purpose at the right moment, because if not I would have hit the wall. And the only way that I was able to get off the bike was by doing a front flip by grabbing the brakes so aggressive. So you can see most of the impact was taken on my head, but I crashed at well over 200 kilometers an hour, hit a wall, slid along on my head, then hit a wall, and was still able to get up 15 minutes later and do a qualifying practice. So I have to say that although the helmet looks finished now, it definitely did its job, that's for sure. I wanted to go like a 90s, like motocross style helmet with the crown with the gold tips and that sort of thing, the pink and blue, the light colors, so that was mainly the reason. Especially like the white on the pink, like the splat, was just trying to look a little bit like the 90s motocross helmets. The way that the helmet is designed to go with the leather suit, you get no vibration, no movement from your head. It's one of the biggest things. And then also, for example, when you sit up for braking in Mugello or Barcelona, places where we are doing an excess of 350 kilometers an hour, you don't have any wind, for one, coming through the visor. You are completely sealed. And your neck, you don't get a sore neck at the end of the weekend, which is normally a good thing, because I've known it in the past from my experience and also hearing from other riders about how sore their necks are come Sunday, and I always love to tell them that mine is not in any pain whatsoever, so it's quite nice. It's incredibly light. I mean, the weight, the helmet design, sleek, but it doesn't take up too much. It's not too bulky. It's not touching, for example, the back of your neck when you're tucked in trying to look through the corner. The weight is, impressive really when you pick it up and you feel how light they are, but how much protection there is. And I mean the visor as well, just to have that field of view. It's incredible, especially for when you're tucked in. You have a lot more at the top. You're able to see a lot more whilst tucked in on the bike. So with the AGV, you see we have the shape here, and the problem was always that the helmet comes down if you land on your head and hit right against your collarbone. It was always in the exact point that the helmet would touch. As I touched on earlier, the noise in the helmet, you don't have much, especially because you have sealed the visor so well. And yeah, there's no movement. I have quite a big head at the top. Here is, more or less quite skinny, so I have to run really thick cheek pads, but then I've had helmets in the past that are really pushed in because my head is quite square shaped, let's say. So I'm able to have it fitting really well with just a couple of adjustments. It's incredible how well it really squeezes on my head. It's amazing nowadays that the average customer for the rotor is able to buy the Pista GPR, which is identical to what we are using in the MotoGP series, with the FIM homologation, everything like that. I mean, the standards of this helmet for the street is second to none. Well, yeah, Danny's used only the best quality kangaroo leather straight out of Australia. So of course it's strong but malleable product. The biggest thing is the arms. The arms are one of the key things for us. We suffer a lot, MotoGP riders, with arm pump and stuff like that. And just to have able to have arms that are as flexible and let's say easy to bend. You know, after 20 something laps on a MotoGP bike, you definitely feel the difference. That's for sure. Yeah, the stretch panels, for example, through the back here, to be able to have the stretch panels all the way up over the shoulder, you notice things like this, especially when you are trying to find grip, hanging completely off the side of the bike and trying to pick the bike up, and you are looking for that little bit of extra flex. Having the stretch panels all the way up and over the top of the shoulders definitely help, I think, for this. The suit itself, you know, is by far one of the lightest on the market, even though we have a lot more, let's say, different things that other manufacturers are not using. For example, the light that comes on when the airbag is deployed, so that you know, if it's in difficult conditions, you're able to be seen when you separate from the bike. So this, and along with the elbow slider system and everything like that, that is so easy to change. This adds weight, yet we are much lighter than everybody else and much stronger. The airbag system is incredible, how light it is, how easy it is to recharge, and also the way that it turns on and off. You know, you never forget to turn it on because it's quite easy. You have to clip up your suit before you go out, so you know it's always going to be on. So that's definitely one of the key things. And then of course the knee area and into the boot, you know, the leathers going over the top of the boot in terms of aerodynamics. It's one of the best. We've tested it in the wind tunnel multiple times, whether it be in Moto3 or in MotoGP, and by far this system is so much better every time in terms of having aerodynamics over your feet, that your feet are much skinnier. I feel for sure more confident, more comfortable, because nowadays the airbag system is so light and so flexible that you don't even notice it's there until it has exploded, and by that time you are normally flying through the gravel. So you don't know it's there until it's already saving you. So that's a good thing. And I mean the system itself, you wouldn't, for me, it's one of the first things I do when I'm about to get on the bike is make sure I'm connected, because when you've had crashes without it and then you've had crashes with it, you understand why you have it and you want it there just in case. So I think that is definitely one of the key points. And also, like I said, how light it is now is by far the lightest airbag system on the market. You don't even notice it's there in the leather suit, and yeah, I wouldn't have anything else. To be honest, when the D-air activates, you don't feel it. I've done many tests in factories and stuff like that where we've set it off automatically, and when it's like that, you notice it, boom, and you hear it, the big pop of the bag. But to be honest, when you're crashing, you don't even know it's going off. You're just standing there like that. You sort of don't remember it happening at all. So but I've had it, for example, before, as I'm leaving the seat of the bike in a high side moment, which is never a good feeling. As I'm leaving the seat and going quite high, as I was leaving the seat, the airbag exploded. So already in the back of your mind, as you're flying through the air, you think, at least I'm not landing completely on the ground alone. I have some protection, so it's going to be a little bit more. So since I moved to Dayanese, before that I was 7 times on that side and 4 times on that side, and since I moved to Dayanese, I haven't broken a collarbone since. First of all, the titanium plates, I think, is more of a iconic thing from Dayanese, because I always, before I was wearing Dayanese, I always wanted to wear it because of that iconic look, you know. But then once you look into it more and you really test them out for yourself, you understand the purpose of them. And the purpose is to not have any point, well, in the most important points of the, let's say, of the impact of the crash, to not have any grip. It makes so it's able to slide. But you know, the latest one, it's an evolution. It's been a great step, and yeah, I mean, it just looks amazing. The glove, as you can see, these ones are quite used, but still in good condition. The glove itself is definitely, for me, the best one around. The protection, especially on the pinky, being is, you know, if you ever meet any old motorcycle riders, generally when you shake their hands, they are missing the pinky, and as you can see, I still have both of mine, so the gloves are definitely doing their job. To have the titanium protection over the knuckle and also over the top half of your hand is incredible, because you have no idea how many times I've smacked my hand, and I've got many gloves at home with a lot of scratches there, so you can tell that the glove has hit the ground and slid rather than hitting the ground and ripping and trying to break your hand. So but not only that, you know, feel is most important for us in MotoGP, especially with the carbon brakes. And the amount of feel that you get through these, the Dainese gloves, is by far the best there is. And like I said, these ones are completely used, but they still fit perfectly, feel perfect. A little bit of extra sweat inside them is perfect. Well, the boot, I mean, when we go back to iconicness, I mean, this is another iconic thing from Dainese. They've been doing it for so long now, where the leather actually goes over the top of the boot. I mean, for one, you only have to look inside and see the carbon fiber in a boot. The flexibility of it is incredible, but yet the durability is there. It's so stiff. The titanium toe sliders, again, another no-brainer. It's the strongest. You never have to change toe sliders ever. And the boot itself is quite skinny compared to anything else I've ever worn or anything else on the market, which is another big thing for us, being at, you know, 61, 62 degrees, lean angle, everything touching the ground. The last thing you want is your foot to be jammed between the bike and the ground, and having the nice narrow boot is definitely a big thing for us. Benefits of having the leg of the suit actually go on the outside of the boot is incredible, actually, how much, when you see the difference on in the wind tunnel, how much difference it actually makes, how much closer your feet are to the bike. You're able to stay in behind the fairing a lot easier. And yeah, the safety of it as well is, you know, nothing's going to be grabbing you from here. You know, nothing's getting caught on your boots. Your boots are going to stay safe. The zip, for example, the only way to close the boot is already tucked inside the leather, so for your boot to actually come undone is nearly impossible. And they also work really great as a cup. Thank you for watching, guys. Remember to stay safe out there, and always use the best. Cheers.